U.S.
U.S.
For Civic Media News, I'm Nate Wiggyhout. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. A Milwaukee nonprofit has to return $800,000 of COVID relief money after it was found that the money was misused. CRC Employment and Entrepreneurial Services was awarded nearly $3 million in total. Some of that money was spent on an over $2,000 bowling party and paychecks to founder Cynthia Brown and her family. The organization also paid nearly $7,000 to State Senator Lena Taylor for work she did as an attorney. Taylor denies ever receiving any money. The group has 45 days to return the money. Republicans will have a top-tier candidate for U.S. Senate in a month or two. That's according to Wisconsin Republican Party Chairman Brian Schimming. He says that Tammy Baldwin is not guaranteed re-election. Democratic Party Chairman Ben Wickler says he expects that Republican to be Madison businessman Eric Hovde. I'm Nate Wiggyhout, Civic Media News.
Craig Counsell says goodbye. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Craig Counsell made phone calls to his Brewers players last night, confirming the news he had accepted an offer to become the next manager of the Chicago Cubs. A 5-year deal with $40 million, making Counsell the highest paid manager in Major League Baseball. Brewers owner Mark Antanasio told reporters when Counsell called him about the decision to join the Cubs, his reply was, quote, "Are you messing with me?" College hoops. Wisconsin men's basketball. The Badgers win 105-76 against Arkansas State. That's the highest scoring game for the Badgers since Greg Gard took over. NBA, the Bucks beat the Nets 129-125 in Brooklyn. A busy night for Giannis. 36 points, 12 rebounds, who said it was good having Chris Middleton back on the floor.
He's getting more comfortable. We're going to need him to be aggressive. We're going to need him to be Chris. Tonight was just an example of his greatness.
That's Giannis Antetokounmpo with sports. I'm Mike Clement.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission.
John and Gordy.
Yes.
We're back again. They asked us back. It's a daily thing.
We're live from the Solidarity Realty Studios here at Civic Media headquarters in the capital city, Madison, Wisconsin. State Street, that great street. That's where we're at, just a block off the Capitol. The John and Gordy Show. John Peterson, Gordy Young. Good morning to you, John.
Hey, what a day. What a day this is going to be. We're going to sit here and beat to death the Brewer debacle.
What do you mean the Brewer debacle?
Oh, my gosh. This is not helpful.
This is great for the Cubs, Chicago Cubs.
Looks like the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers is going to be the manager of the Chicago Cubs.
It's done deal, yes.
And how do you think this affects funding the Brewers Stadium? How do you think that
I don't think it's
all come out?
It's not going to affect it at all.
Why do they even want to help the Brewers at this point? Why do they think people are even going to go to the games after this? Come on. This is it. This is a knife, a dagger in the back of every Wisconsinite in the state.
Chicago Cubs fans are loving it. $40 million contract for Craig Counsell. Good for him. He's making money now.
Oh, no.
He's making big money. 5-year contract. Everybody's a Cubs fan.
This
now.
is a Wisconsin kid, right? He grew up in Wisconsin.
Did he?
He played for the Brewers. His dad worked for the Brewers.
He went to Notre Dame. Yeah.
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 Yeah, he did. He played baseball there. He played for a few of the other clubs, but he did play for the Brewers 6-7 years, something like that. Then he bumped him up to the top office and made him manager. And he's been here for so many decades, and yet now he has turned his back on us when we're looking for funding for the stadium. And everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, the Brewers are in it. They're always in it every year." So all of a sudden, we're starting from square one.
They had a good year.
Square one.
The Brewers went to the playoffs, and then it fizzled out. The Cubs almost made the playoffs.
Yep.
They fizzled out. But David Ross, the Chicago Cubs former manager now, he's out of a job. He's moved on now. And Cubs fans loved him, David Ross.
Right.
He was a part of the 2016 championship team that won the World Series finally for the Cubs. He was the catcher. And, but
A lot of money, right? I mean,
Things
money
change.
talks here, right?
things change.
You offer a lot of money, $24 million.
For who? For Craig Counsell?
Yeah.
He got $40 million.
A 40. Oh,
40
my gosh,
million,
that's
not
even
24.
worse. That's worse. Oh, man. Just
Better for him.
This guy better get out of the state.
Listen,
That's all I can say.
are you kidding me? Cubs fans out there, and I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a lot of them.
There are just a few.
It's
Yeah.
like Christmas time for the Chicago
yes,
Cubs.
yes. Put that on. Could you?
You think people on
It's a very
Facebook will like
visual-
this?
Yeah. We're
The
trying
Cubs
to go
fans
more
will
visual.
love this. Yeah, here we
There we
go.
go.
Merry
Perfect.
Christmas, Cubs fans.
Oh, yeah.
We got Craig Counsell managing the Cubs. So it's like
This is like a dream come true.
it's like Santa Claus has arrived
It
at Wrigley Field already.
is. I know. Ann is really up on this thing. My
Your wife is-
and, well, she was on the phone with you or on
she was
social media texting you.
Texted me
Oh, my
immediately.
God.
Oh, the Cubs. Did you hear the news? Yes, I heard the news.
Freaked me out.
Yeah. So we should all go to Wrigley Field
Yes.
opening day
Oh,
and watch
sure.
the Cubs. Yeah.
hey, I'm busy. Busy that day.
Okay. Then Ann and I will go.
She just loves that stadium down there.
It's Wrigley Field. Yes.
That stadium.
That stadium. Have you ever been to Wrigley Field? I've been there many times.
It's
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's gorgeous.
Just a gorgeous field.
The vines on
From what I hear.
on the wall, the outfield wall, the old scoreboard still there. Of course, they modernized the.
Did they? They put digital screens up on the wall
uh,
and make it look like it has vines on it now.
Oh, but that's a great idea. No, the Ricketts family came in and started putting advertising, on
You gotta love them, too.
sacred Wrigley Field.
You think Council really loves the Ricketts? You think that
Oh,
might
sure.
be the whole reason why? Because
Listen.
this right-wing fanatical management and ownership is so attractive.
They put so much into the Wrigley Field neighborhood, and
Did
then
they?
yes, they really did. Fantastic job. I was there last summer with
What'd
my
they do?
son. Well, the whole neighborhood, they've kept the ambiance of the neighborhood
Sweet.
feel. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And they made a deal with the bleachers, the people that had the
creatures.
okay.
It's baseball
I
lingo.
don't know. Why am I even talking to you about this? This is crazy.
Go ahead. No, I want to hear about the neighborhood.
I went there with my son this
Are there
last summer.
restaurants and bars
it's,
around that
it's,
place?
it's great. It's really a great atmosphere there, all around.
Do you have a
You know,
recommendation, a place to go after the game? Once you leave,
Well, the Cubby
Your
Bear
local
is a
club?
great place. I mean, there's several. There's a bunch of them all around Wrigley Field, the outside of it.
okay,
Yeah.
this is what's going to
But
happen,
Cubby.
okay?
Yeah, what?
Everybody in Wisconsin who is a Brewers fan will turn into a Cub fan, and then they'll go down there, and you
It's
will be
probably
able to
not.
point them in the right direction as to the restaurants and bars they can go to
Sure.
before and after the game.
Yeah,
All right, so
that's right. Okay, yeah, I know it's upsetting for Brewers fans. You got your Brewers
I
cap.
got my cap
You don't
here.
wear baseball caps very often.
I don't
do
wear. I don't wear hats
You
at
don't.
all.
You're not a. Good Lord. Okay.
Yeah, I can't put
You-
it on over
You,
headphones.
you watch if you're watching us on Facebook
Right.
or YouTube, John's got his Brewer cap. It looks like it's brand new, like it's never been worn. Did you just pick that up on the way in this morning somewhere at Quick Trip?
Well,
I've got my Cubs jersey on and my Cubs Santa Claus hat, and it's great move for the Chicago
of course,
Cubs.
are dressed up in Cubs regalia.
Regalia, yeah, that's what it is. I got a T-shirt on, and my actually this is a South Bend Cubs baseball cap. You know, they have an affiliate over in South Bend, a Class A team. And they have a beautiful stadium. Wow!
And you were there for a while.
Oh,
and this is
20
their,
years.
This is their
It
feeder
looks
team, whatever they call them.
what?
What
Feeder
is,
team?
What is it?
They don't have cows out in the field. It's not a feeder team. It's a Class A affiliate
There it
of
is.
the Chicago Cubs.
That's right.
And you can see their cubby looks a little angry. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
that's the way it should look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, more like an
Yeah,
angry
yeah.
cub bear. Okay. Anyway, that's baseball talk for Tuesday morning. Everybody's going to be talking about Craig Counsell
It's a big one.
going to the Chicago Cubs as their new manager.
Well, the manager is
$40 million.
basically pretty angry and feels betrayed, and that Counsell has left Wisconsin behind. This guy is a turncoat. He's an evil person.
He's not
we
evil.
should never, ever post a picture of him in team pictures. It should all come down. They'll digitally remove him.
Okay. Yeah, he's probably been removed from the website already.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean, they always now when it's this big of a deal, they congratulate him. Oh, good luck to you. Thank you for your years of service here to the Brewers, and good luck in Chicago. And then as soon as the door closes, why, son of a bitch.
He
What
was
are we
on
going
his
to
way
do
out.
now?
He was on his way out anyway. We
You
didn't
think
get
so?
a whole bunch. Yeah, probably. Right. I mean, big deal. He always folds at the end anyway. So
Gee.
good riddance.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
Sour grapes, much?
It says here.
Yeah.
As soon as he was named manager of the Cubs,
Yeah.
he was named in the Manager of the Year list. He is a finalist in Manager of the Year.
Okay.
So that's a little more salt in the wound to come.
Yeah.
So
I guess.
when he becomes Manager of the Year, then we'll be sitting here going, "Oh, super."
Yeah, baseball. It's funny, the off season always there's big moves like this, but this is really the first big move of the off season.
It is. It's huge, but it's such a betrayal.
There's no loyalty anymore in baseball. It's all about winning and how far you can get. Can you get to the playoffs? Can you get to the World Series? Can you win the World Series?
But there
Craig
should
Counsell,
be, some loyalty to the state,
he's
the state that he grew up in.
okay.
His father worked for the team. I mean, this is
Did he really? I
this is
didn't know
just,
that.
the worst of.
Are you just making this up?
No.
Okay. He was a good manager for the Brewers. Great, best manager the Brewers ever had.
It says here that mark your calendars. Craig Counsell returns to American Family Stadium May 27th through the 30th.
Okay.
First Cubs game.
Great.
Mark that on your calendar.
I will. That will be a great time to come to the Brewers Stadium, American Family Field. When was the last time you were there? I was there a couple of years ago. I ran into there was Craig Counsell, our buddy from Channel 15.
Sure.
I said hello to him, and he said, "Who are you again?" And I said, "Never mind." I'm just kidding.
I can't remember. It was fairly recent, having been there. But
it's a beautiful place.
The problem I have with these stadiums is that even Lambeau is that they have really just kind of mass marketed beer. I'm not a big fan of that stuff. I want a local brewery. They have a local brewer up there in the complex, in the Packer complex, and it's a brew pub right there at the complex. But that beer, I don't believe, is served within the stadium confines. So
You really are focused on weird things, but it's just
beer.
Who cares?
What's
Who
weird
cares?
about that? Obviously, you're not from Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. I wasn't born and raised here. Like
That's
you.
why.
Okay.
Beer is the number one reason you do anything in Wisconsin. Get with it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, we're off to a fine start here. Start on this
Arguing
Tuesday.
about baseball.
Beer and baseball. Okay. It is 18 minutes past the
It
hour.
is.
42 degrees. Good looking start this morning. Maybe just a few clouds. The high today, 51.
Come back if you can. This is John and Gordy.
We'll be back in 60 seconds or less.
John and Gordy,
Yeah.
92.7. Find it on the dial. This is a terrestrial signal. But there are so many ways to watch and
Right.
hear the show. Now, the idea that I have,
Yeah.
and we've talked about this off the air, the idea, I want to do a little bit more video trickery, okay?
What do you
Because
mean?
you can watch this on Facebook as we're doing the program. There's a slight delay. We'll have to work on that. But
What's your big idea?
but my big idea is to work with this program,
You are
this
the idea
radio,
guy.
terrestrial type radio station program,
Yeah.
and work with it on video, where we are going to create a visual special effect every once in a while on this signal.
Okay. On
And-
Facebook and
yeah,
on YouTube.
Yeah, I got some ideas I want to put in place. So when people are able to watch us
Yeah.
first thing in the morning, and they can see what we're visually doing. I have some crazy ideas. I think we should, with all the special effects out there and the things you can do with
Oh,
video,
yeah.
we are going to do it here. And it'll a
great.
little extra incentive to check out the show on Facebook and turn radio and video into something that works together. It's not just something you do because you have the ability to have a
Okay.
podcast,
All right.
You got to do something extra, something a little bit more imaginative.
Do you have a budget for this? Or are you going to bring in some extra special effects?
Well, I
some
would
more
assume that
cameras?
because it's such a
More-
good idea, the station will jump on board and
Okay.
spend unbelievable amounts of money. So,
Just so people can jump on the Facebook or jump on YouTube and watch the show and listen to us at the same time.
I know there is a danger to all of this because we're
Uphill
going to ask
battle.
you to be watching Facebook while you're driving. You can obviously mount it on the dashboard while
Okay.
you're watching us.
I don't think that's
And
legal. Do you?
And of course,
Okay.
Bluetooth connected to your radio, and you'll be able to listen to us.
Okay.
And at the same time, see visually what is taking place and not miss a moment.
Boy,
So
You're pushing a boulder up a mountain, I think, on that one. But good luck to you on that.
Thank you.
No, I'm all for that. If
Thank
that's how we can get more people watching us and listening, that's great.
I don't think,
think that's
I just
fabulous.
wonder how many people,
Yeah.
these podcasts are going on. They've been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
Has anybody done anything with the video part of it? Or
No.
just putting a camera in the studio and letting you watch us, sit there chit chat. How about something else?
Okay. I'm all for that.
All right.
I think we're going to need another camera or two, and I don't know how you're going to do special effects while we're, talking, but
That's up to Sam.
okay, Sam, our producer,
It's his thing, man.
you've thrown it in his court
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Those
Sam.
kids, they know all about this stuff,
Yeah. Okay, those kids today. Jeez. Okay, Grandpa. Good idea. Sam's like, oh boy, how did I get
Like he's-
stuck with these two old farts? It's never gonna happen.
Well, I think they told him it was temporary, so it's the only reason for him to come in. I hope this doesn't last that long.
Okay. Sam, go ahead and
Look that
chime
up.
in if you want.
I just enjoy listening to you guys. You
Oh,
guys
okay.
are like funny.
Oh, okay.
What the thing is, there might be software out there. Is there a way you think that we could add software that could affect our little
Probably.
stream?
I'm sure we could figure something out.
I know we've
All right.
got.
All
I've
right.
got extra cameras. I mean, we could
See, a
put it.
positive attitude right there. That's what I like to hear.
Okay.
Cable
Do you have
Access
a
Show
camera?
Part 2.
Do you have a camera
Yeah,
over there,
that's right.
Sam? In your Do you have,
On the stream, I do. Hello.
do you? Well, yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, people have been asking, what does Sam look like? Who is this guy? I don't see you up there yet.
What? Oh, I don't know.
see,
Well,
I
I'm
see
here.
a split screen,
It
but
doesn't
it's not.
show- it
Oh,
doesn't show the
there he
visual.
is. Oh, okay. Your camera's kind of pointed.
It's a little tall.
There,
There's
it's
like
a
a
little
bunch
high.
of space above my
Right.
head. Oh well.
That's
Okay.
good. No, it's
Okay.
fine.
See,
fine.
you've already improved everything here. You've got
We've
two
changed.
cameras now.
We've changed this whole thing.
Okay.
So that's just the first step.
Yeah. Hey, we got some feedback from a listener talking about, these high rises around Madison.
Yeah.
They're starting to pop up.
Yeah.
And
No, wait, I thought you were going to talk about Dan, the feedback in
oh,
regards to
all right.
beer being
Okay.
the main ingredient for all entertainment in Wisconsin. If you don't include a beer and good beer, micro beer,
okay.
then you might as well just go down to Illinois and be a Cubs fan.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, beer is important. I'll grant you that. I mean, yeah, sure. There's not as many breweries in Milwaukee as there used to be, the major ones, but there are more microbreweries than ever.
Yes.
All over the place.
Right,
Everywhere they're popping up.
It's tough because these breweries that pop up, they may be too big. They may be, like we had Ale Asylum out here. It was a huge, gigantic complex and great restaurant, excellent beer, but it was
Yeah.
just too big.
Really?
Yeah. So they couldn't sustain that and they went out of business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of alcohol, did you hear that there's a resolution before the legislature, and I think they already passed it, about making brandy old fashions the official cocktail,
Right.
of Wisconsin. They do these resolutions. It doesn't mean people. They should be working on stuff, actual legislation, instead of figuring out what should we make the official cocktail of Wisconsin? How about the
Well-
brandy old fashioned? Okay, let's write up a resolution and have the governor
That's right.
sign it. It means nothing,
Yeah.
but okay, we can't agree on anything else, so let's just start passing resolutions like
We
that.
can agree on the
about
drink we
alcohol.
have after work, leaving the Capitol. This
Yeah.
is just, it's mindless.
Do you
dreck
think
is
more
what it
people
is.
drink beer than have hard
A
drinks?
cocktail of some sort?
Yeah.
I
Or do you
think so.
it's pretty even.
I don't know. Might be even. The cocktail thing. Maybe that's becoming more popular now. I'm not sure. It's been kind of popular if you go to the lounges. If you try to,
Yeah.
visit as many lounges in the area as you could possibly visit.
What's the official wine of Wisconsin? I don't know. Should we ask the Google? Do you think?
I actually don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Let's see if we can dial it up here. Hang on.
Wallersheim is.
What's the official wine of Wisconsin? Let's see if it has an answer. Yeah, it's not giving me anything here.
Is it Prairie
Wine-
Fumé or something like that?
Wine is
I don't think
we
we
don't know.
decided on that.
Google
Yeah,
hasn't.
I think
there's
the
no
brew-
official. As
The
far as I
brew
know,
is the best. So
What?
we always have to, I'm from Milwaukee and I ought to know. It's Pabst.
Blue Ribbon
Blue-
beer.
Yes.
Okay. Do they still make Pabst?
Yeah. It's
I
a
don't
big.
see
It's
it
a big
anywhere.
beer. It is. No, it's
think it's
all,
out there?
It's all over. It really is. It really
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
So
Well, good.
All right, so
well,
we've,
it's election
we've
day. You
tackled
know
that.
that, right? It's election day in Wisconsin. Is there anything being
No.
voted on anywhere?
I don't think so.
Well, nationwide, there's elections going. I mean, it's not the big one, of course. The presidential election's a year from now, but
The whole point of them talking about this is they want to see what the temperature is for the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Who's going to get the votes? Is there any Trump backing on any of this that's going to work? We'll see.
we'll track it for you. 29 past the hour. We'll take a break for news, weather, and sports, and then we're coming back.
We'll be right back to the action right after this message.
As we were saying,
Let the sun shine.
is the John and Gordy Show. go, John and Gordy. John and Gordy. Oh, John and Gordy. John and Gordy.
Everybody, sing along.
John and Gordy.
John Peterson, Gordy Young. A Tuesday morning in the beautiful Madison area here. Just partly cloudy skies, looking pretty nice today. And highs, what did you say, John? Highs in the 50s?
Yeah.
Today?
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Just check with my.
You've got a 51, I think you said.
We don't have a weather wheel anymore, but we do have smart watches. So
You do.
Let's see here. I do. What?
I don't.
Yes,
I have an analog watch.
You have an analog watch.
I like
way
analog.
Back in time, they had those.
I'm going to open up an analog store. Everything analog, I think that's the name of it.
By 3 p.m., that will be the high temperature, 50 degrees today.
That's what you're saying. Okay, we'll
All
go
right.
with that.
All right. So,
Yeah,
we're just checking out the TV screen
yeah.
and the story that was on.
Everybody's
CNN.
buying guns.
CNN. Jews are buying guns and getting training
Well, that's what the CNN
in
said.
the country.
Yeah,
And they're showing all these women on the line shooting their firearms at targets.
kind of a gun
And-
club thing.
You got to, that's the difference, right? That is the total difference between liberals and MAGAs.
What, the Second Amendment stuff?
The liberals go out and get gun training.
Okay.
The MAGAs say, we don't need no gun training.
Mm.
It's a constitutional right. I was born with the right to have it. God wanted us to have guns. And, we have some ability to shoot them, even though it may not be accurate. And that is the thing,
And they just go to a
for
gun
them,
show and
they
buy
don't
a
care.
gun
Yes.
out in the parking lot.
That's as much training as they need. And,
No background checks or anything
Right.
required.
Right.
No red flag laws. Just get a gun at a gun show.
Exactly.
If you can't make a deal inside, just go out to the parking lot. They got them in their trunks. And
Right.
Just get a gun. Yeah, it's a different world now, isn't it? Just seems like everybody wants to get a gun. I don't really feel the need to get a gun, but if you got to get a gun, get a good gun, I guess. Right? Yeah.
Well,
Get a shotgun.
Get
a rifle. Get an AR. Everybody wants to get these AR-15s. And
there's something.
What happened to the laws against military-style assault weapons? That seemed to be the law of the land 20 years ago. It got passed.
It was a big deal. It saved a lot of lives.
It did, and then that went by the wayside.
They repealed it or let it just go away.
Yeah.
And didn't renew the law.
And in
Gun
this
deaths
year,
return.
there's been more than 550 mass shootings. Any shooting more than 4 people get shot. I believe that's the watermark they put on it.
But
that's a mass shooting. But 500 shootings.
It shouldn't
More than
matter.
500.
It shouldn't matter whether you're conservative or liberal. It shouldn't matter if you're watching the news, you're seeing what is happening in this country, and all these different groups are arming up, and we have people arming up in our schools. We have the Jews going out getting gun training because they're afraid of what might happen in this country. You have people arming up at home.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there like red flags going up for most people saying this is not right? Something is wrong, and we should try to solve this problem without the firearm.
People are scared. They're scared about the political climate, where we're headed.
Right. They should.
And
The political climate should get a lot better. We should try to get along a little bit more. Now I sound like a liberal.
can't we all just get
Can we
along?
all just get along? But
Apparently not.
But if you see this kind of danger happening where everybody's arming up and buying ammunition, why don't we stop and just think about that for a moment?
It's hard to do that. It's hard to take a pause because it's just the climate we live in.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We should just think it through a little bit, but kind of too late.
Yeah.
It seems like gun sales are going through the roof. The NRA is happy about it, I'm sure. And, you know,
Yeah.
Walmart or wherever you can get guns. They're so readily available now. It's just
Can you get a Gatling gun? Can you get one of
like a
those
machine
anymore?
gun? Or can you get a Tommy gun?
I see him in the
Jeez, I don't
movies, you know, just cranking that thing. Yeah.
I know. Well, we could go on this, but you know, let's lighten the mood here a little bit, okay?
All right.
Okay, because somebody texted us about you know, there seems to be a something going on in Madison where we see these high rises getting built, right?
Exactly.
You see them along the lakes. You see them popping up just about everywhere. And the question is, you know, what is the etiquette if you're living in a high-rise building as far as pulling the shades or not pulling the shade? Is there a privacy problem with high-rises, do you think? I've never lived in a high-rise.
I wonder.
Have you?
No.
But this is sort of a new thing here in
Stayed
Mass.
at them. You know, a friend.
Yeah.
My brother had a corporate condo in Chicago, and he said, hey, you can spend a night there if you want, and we did, and it was just wonderful. You stand in front of these gigantic floor-to-ceiling windows, and you're
Great view.
overlooking the city.
That's a beautiful
and
view.
it's unbelievable, right?
But who's looking back at you?
But the tendency is to, you know, stand in front of that window naked. Right? I mean, that's
for
what you want. That's what you want to
wouldn't
do,
that.
right?
Why would you do that? Exhibitionist John.
No, it's just.
But you bring up a good point. I mean, aren't there people? There's obviously people who have.
Moving around your apartment, you've got floor-to-ceiling windows. You know, you're not going to be dressed all the time.
Well, anybody in the opposing or the opposite view, you know, they're over there with binoculars and telescopes.
As
I mean,
they
people
keep going up, as these high-rises continue to go up, they're going to be facing each other.
Well,
and
sure.
we're going to have this massive problem of people showing themselves off in front of the windows.
Wes from Middleton just texted and he says, "Don't like what you see, don't look."
There you go. Exactly. You have an option.
Okay, Wes.
Exactly.
It's showing it off. Okay. Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know. If I lived in a high rise like that, I think I'd have the shades pulled. At
Really?
least at sunset.
Yeah.
I would at nighttime. Don't you think?
Well, no, because then, I mean, if
How
you
about-
have a great view, don't you want to see the city lights sparkling in the
get
distance?
that, but you could get one of those thin, very thin, you know,
Yeah.
shades
Yeah.
that go across the windows.
You know what I have in
and then
mind?
have a regular curtain behind that.
You know what I have in mind?
What?
The movie Body Heat.
Oh, that was a
guys
great
see
movie.
Body Heat?
Yes.
It's an incredible movie.
Kathleen Turner
Yeah.
and William Hurt.
Yep.
One of the great movies of all time.
So it starts off.
Yeah.
You remember how it starts off, right?
I'm trying to think about it, but
He and this one get out of bed,
Uh,
and she's a airline stewardess.
okay. All right.
What do they call him? Something else now, don't it? Is.
Uh,
But anyway, and he gets up and
Server,
he's
right.
naked and he's standing there in front of the window looking out
Mm.
at a fire that is taking place somewhere in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And that image, so, yeah, I mean, the whole movie is just kind of a romantic, beautiful movie
What movie are we
about
talking
murder.
about? Body Heat, right?
Body Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
a great movie.
But you know, it has those scenes that it just turns all of this stuff into this beautiful, I don't know, just gorgeous looking thing that you do.
It's a movie about
When it's so
obsession.
hot.
And, well, when he throws that chair through the window,
Right.
look out.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought, wow.
Well,
how do
Kathleen
you
Turner
explain that?
and William Hurt, great actor. We lost a couple of years ago, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite movies. But back to the high-rise issue, maybe through high technology, you could have the view, but it could be reflective on the
Reflective.
outside,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
people can't see in, but you can see out. Those kind of windows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except at night when the lights are on,
Yeah.
you can still see in.
Okay, that would kind of defeat
During the
purpose.
day, you know, yeah, that would work.
Okay.
A lot of outside ambient light, you know, reflects, you can't see in.
Mhm.
But at night, the lights are going to be on. People can see you.
Okay. Well, we've solved that problem.
But no,
then.
we didn't. Though. Here's the thing. It's not just being naked in front of a window. I mean, you're sitting there watching TV. One of the things I find kind of crazy when I'm driving around doing my surveys is that
Yeah.
I can see inside people's front window. And,
Sure. They
and
leave the
some of
curtain
them
up.
have like their TVs on, and these
Right.
TVs aren't these tiny little boxes in the
No.
corner someplace.
Great big wide screens.
Huge, yeah. And
Yeah.
they've got the drapes drawn, but you can see through the drapes and you can see what they're watching.
You can see.
And you can see what people are watching. What are
Yeah.
you going to play? You're going to play some risque movie with a nude scene and somebody's
No.
driving by or walking by at the time. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of, things that can happen
Well, sure. Yeah. So
ins-
you don't want
inside
that.
someone's home. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. Well, so pull the drapes close if you're going to watch a movie like that, right?
Well, you never know.
Kids could be watching, walking by, delivering the
But there-
evening newspaper.
But this
Oh, wait a minute,
high-rise
we don't
thing
have
is
those
like
anymore. Yeah.
it's been happening in the last 20 years, 10 years when you look at the downtown.
Mm.
I mean, there's a lot of new buildings down here, still more new buildings being built. And it's a good question. What do you do? They're just really almost all glass. And because they've been able to, technology has allowed them to put glass back in and not lose a lot of heat on the inside of these buildings,
Mhm.
they're putting more glass on. So it's an interesting conundrum.
It
You're
is a
sitting there,
conundrum.
You don't know. You don't know. I mean, think of the drapes.
I know.
They have to be very long.
Don't you think most of these buildings come with the shades? I mean, that's
I think
they're
so.
built in,
That's probably
right?
true.
The big shades.
That's
that
probably
come
true.
down. And then you can
Blinds.
add curtains.
Blinds.
The blinds.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Well, I'm glad we got that settled. I would have a hard time living in a high rise just because I like to go outside immediately and just walk around the neighborhood. But in a high rise, you gotta wait for the elevator, and you gotta hope that you can get an elevator right away, and then go outside. I like to be near nature somewhere, like a park, like a lake or whatever, right?
Right.
But in a high rise, it's a little claustrophobic to me, having so many people in that building.
Yeah.
And then, what if you have to wait a few minutes for the elevator? What if the elevator gets stuck? I mean, I'm thinking of all these things that could happen. And then, if
You're
there's
so far behind. I'm telling you, Gordy, they have teleportation now.
Okay.
Yeah, you just teleport to the lobby. Okay. I mean, they made big changes. We
Okay.
got some feedback as well.
All
It's
right,
like
what
living in a dollhouse.
Who said that?
It is.
Really?
Yep.
Where are you seeing?
And also,
Oh,
it's-
here it is.
watching movies on an airplane is also, yes, I know. People can see it.
Okay. Elon Musk is building a glass house. What? Let's all hope there's a long, long distance between the road and the house.
Yeah, I remember seeing some kind of science fiction show, and they were talking about certain kinds of gases between the window, and you can
Oh, sure.
energize that gas,
Okay.
and it turns dark.
That's the other
And you
thing.
can't
Can
see
you
in.
can you open the windows in these high rises? I mean, there are some windows that open up, right?
Right.
But there's always some outside ventilation. I mean, you can get outside air in, right? Fresh air.
Yeah, porch.
And usually they have a
deck of some
balcony,
sort.
a nice balcony
Yeah.
that you can go outside a little bit. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So
All right. High rises. Yeah. Yeah, good. I think we've beat
There's
that horse to
no,
death.
there- well, have we? I don't
Okay.
think there's any limit to how much we could beat this horse to death. but,
Well,
but
they're
it's-
more. We're going to see more and more high rises
Yeah.
as we run out of space. They're going to go up, and you can check them out for yourself. Okay.
All right. So we've talked about arming up
Yeah.
as a society,
Gun
super,
control.
and of course,
Yeah.
privacy in a high rise.
Glad we're hitting all the hot button issues here
Oh, yeah.
this morning for everybody.
We got a little poster for everybody to see. We want to get to this. Just briefly mention this topic about women voting.
We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. 6:49. You're listening to the John and Gordy Show on Mad Radio WMDX. We'll be back shortly. Counsell has gone over to the other side. He's joined the Chicago Cubs as their new manager. $40 million contract over the next 5 years. Biggest managerial deal in baseball now.
It is. It's
Good for him.
Unbelievable.
Congratulations, Craig. Welcome to the Chicago Cubs.
So now what do we do with the stadium? You know? Just shut it down. Close it up.
It's over?
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
No funding for the stadium,
Well,
no
that deal
upgrades, nothing?
That deal isn't done. You know, they can't make up their mind in the legislature. And now, you know, without a coach, without a manager, you might as well just leave.
I think they'll be able to find a manager.
Well,
You know,
okay,
there's
we'll see
always
what
some
happens.
available.
We'll see what happens.
We'll keep on top of that.
Yeah.
What do you were
All right,
pointing to this
yeah.
old-fashioned sign?
It's an old-fashioned sign, a poster, and it has to do with women's suffrage. 111 years ago, this poster was up, and it says here, danger. You know, let me just show that here.
Okay.
This is the benefit
Hold it up a little
of
bit.
watching this while you're driving.
Hold it up. Okay, never mind. Okay, go ahead.
I did hold it up.
All right.
Remember, it's a delay. It says here, women's suffrage would double the irresponsible vote. Really badly written, right? Unless you're saying that the other half, men, is already irresponsible, folks.
Again,
you know?
this is 111 years ago.
Right. Women's suffrage would double the irresponsible vote. So men first have been irresponsibly voting, and now we're just going to add women to it. It says here, it is a menace to the home, men's employment, and to all business.
Okay.
So there it is.
I'm
You want to
scared
show
already.
that again? There we go.
Hold it up a little
Is that
higher.
too close?
A little higher. There you go. I think that's
All right.
better.
Well, we don't know.
There. See, here, on the delay, you can see how badly you held it up before.
It's better now.
All right.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
it-
briefly, yes.
It pulled away before I even pulled it away. There's something going on here.
Okay.
A multiverse situation.
Well, what else did it say on there? Was that it?
It said that you have to pick up the yellow paper, the ballot, and say no to women's suffrage.
Okay. Again, 111 years ago.
Right.
Okay. Are we going to be seeing this kind of thing again, do you think?
Oh,
Danger, we can't have
probably
absentee ballots. We can't have, drop boxes. None of that's going to, they want to curtail all of that. Yeah. It is voting day across, the U.S., us. We're voting today. I don't know that there are many ballot initiatives on any ballots here in Wisconsin, but you know what I think? I think it's time for a coffee break. We've been going here for the last hour or so. What do you think? What do you think? Sam, are you in for coffee?
Fresh coffee.
Fellas, don't drink that coffee. It is the caffeine.
The sugar level, the caffeine level, all conspires to make things a little squirrely.
I don't think there can ever be enough, too much caffeine.
Caffeine is just a sort of a general phenomenon that should be, spread and promulgated as many directions as possible.
You'd never guess there was a fish in the percolator.
Movie is it? You remember?
That's Twin Peaks.
It is Twin Peaks. Okay.
All of that. Most of that is Twin Peaks.
There, crank it up.
Fill up your cup, coffee.
You think you'd notice a fish in the percolator, right?
Stay up late.
Coffee.
Now, if it were smoke, then it might be a little better. So,
Need a cup, need a cup.
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Coffee.
All right. Coffee facts. The older you are, the longer you've had to build up a coffee drinking habit. This is age appropriate. The survey results show that older folks drink coffee more than younger people. 69% of Americans over 60 drank coffee in the past day,
Yeah.
compared to just 47% of 18 to 24-year-olds who said the same. However, once survey respondents hit 25, it seems coffee consumption skyrocketed. 66% of respondents 25 to 39 and 67% age 40 to 59 had a cup of coffee a cup of Joe in the last day.
You're throwing a lot of numbers out there.
Is that a lot of numbers?
Yes.
In other words, if you're over 25, all of a sudden you're just a coffee addict.
Well,
like
the
those
thing
over
is,
60.
all these news stories come out over the years. Coffee's good for you. And then coffee's bad for you. It goes back and forth. Is it good? Is it bad for you? I don't know. I've drank it all my life.
What do you mean you don't know? It is good for you.
It is good for you. It is. And, you see these coffee shops popping up everywhere. It just never ends. Starbucks is all over the place. But I like to go to the locally owned coffee shops.
Yeah, they're
right?
nice. Yeah, there's one right
support
up
the
street.
local. Yeah, we go to it a lot.
The thing is, if you're making it at home, you have to use a paper filter because
Nothing wrong with that.
It takes out some of the oils that actually are bad for you, even though they're also good for you. But you hedge your bets and you say they're bad for me. I'm using a paper filter. You should use a paper filter.
I just, yes, I use a paper filter. I put a little bit of milk in it, not much, just a little bit of milk. That's no sugar. I don't like sweet coffee. Do you like sweet coffee?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Black.
I'm glad we can agree on something
Hot
today. Yes.
and black.
Okay. Sam, how about it? What do you like in your coffee?
I go back and forth. Like sometimes I'll go for a couple of weeks drinking it with like just store-bought creamer, and then I'll get sick of how sweet it is. So I'll go back to plain black coffee, and then I'll get sick of that and want something sweet again.
Okay. It's Coffee Talk on John and Gordy Show. Thank you, Sam.
There's more.
Appreciate that. Yeah, more on coffee. Sure, get it out.
Investing app Acorns reported that Americans spend about $1,100 a year on coffee as of 2018. Also, unsurprisingly, more respondents would give up dessert or social media for a whole year just to drink their coffee.
Wow, that seems a little radical.
A drip coffee machine is still the most common method of brewing, with 41% preferring that.
I'll drink
the second
to that.
most popular is a single brewing cup.
Okay, that's okay.
Those K-cups,
I don't really
they're
like
not
those,
that
but
great.
that's okay.
There are espresso machines, which use a pod as well, and those are really good. And that's at number 4.
Okay. And Dan says he's having his third cup of coffee right now. And he's going to be working remotely from Starbucks. So coffee, coffee.
Yep.
All right.
And lattes, cappuccinos, and plain espresso are the most popular.
Good to know. Well, we hope you're enjoying your coffee this morning. We're going to take a break for some news, weather, and sports updates. We'll be back in just a few minutes with more of the John and Gordy Show. Have a cup of coffee on us.
Yeah, thermos.
And a cleaning agent, just like your laundry. For a fresh, healthy clean with no residue, call Zero Res Madison or schedule online. Zero Res, spell it forward or backward, it's the right way to clean.
You're listening to Mad Radio, WMDX 1580 AM Columbus, W224 EG Madison, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Liz Landers. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressing openness to, quote, little pauses in the bombardment of Gaza, but that a ceasefire will only come for the release of hostages. The Supreme Court today taking up a challenge to a federal law that bans Americans who are under domestic abuse restraining orders from owning a gun. Kelly Roskam is with the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions.
We know that it's not just intimate partners murdering their partners. We know that they're doing it with firearms and that these laws are preventing them from doing that.
Aiden Johnston is with the group Gun Owners of America.
This statute actually ends up disarming a bunch of law-abiding or otherwise good people. Judges often issue mutual restraining orders, which disarms both the victim and the abuser at the same time.
It's election day in some places, including Uvalde, Texas, where a woman who lost her 10-year-old daughter in last year's school massacre is running for mayor. This is ABC News. With just under a year before the whole country votes on Election Day 2024, ABC News has reporters with several campaigns and in key states across the country. And with races heating up, today we're checking in.
This is Libby Cathy covering Asa Hutchinson's campaign. 1 year out, the former Arkansas governor is struggling to raise money and to even register in some polls, but he says he's not giving up yet. Hutchinson has vowed to stay in the race at least through Thanksgiving to try to bring those numbers up. But without a spot on the next debate stage or on the last one, it will be even harder to get his message out. And that's that he's the most experienced, while Trump is dangerous for the party.
That debate tomorrow. 5 Republicans making the stage: Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, and Tim Scott. And a search for sunken treasure being pushed into overdrive off the coast of Colombia. The president there ordering the recovery of gold, silver, and jewels from a shipwreck that could be worth $20 billion. An American company that found the wreck claims it should get half. Liz Landers, ABC News.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15s. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit. And make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
The Civic Media network of radio stations across Wisconsin. It's your hometown radio. Refreshed. This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.com.
For Civic Media News, I'm Nate Wuggehout. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. A Milwaukee nonprofit has to return $800,000 of COVID relief money after it was found that the money was misused. CRC Employment and Entrepreneurial Services was awarded nearly $3 million in total. Some of that money was spent on an over $2,000 bowling party and paychecks to founder Cynthia Brown and her family. The organization also paid nearly $7,000 to State Senator Lena Taylor for work she did as an attorney. Taylor denies ever receiving any money. The group has 45 days to return the money. Republicans will have a top-tier candidate for U.S. Senate in a month or two. That's according to Wisconsin Republican Party Chairman Brian Schimming. He says that Tammy Baldwin is not guaranteed re-election. Democratic Party Chairman Ben Wickler says he expects that Republican to be Madison businessman Eric Hovde. I'm Nate Wuggehout, Civic Media News.
The Brewers owner not happy with Craig Counsell. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Craig Counsell deciding to accept an offer to become the manager of the Chicago Cubs, paying Counsell $8 million a year, making him the highest paid manager in baseball history. Now, Brewers owner Mark Antanasio let reporters know he was disappointed, saying, quote, Craig has lost us and our community. The next time Craig Counsell will be in AmFam Field is next May when the Cubs come to town to play the Brewers. NBA, the Bucks picked up a win in Brooklyn, beating the Nets 129-125. Giannis Antetokounmpo leading Milwaukee with 36 points and 12 rebounds. Men's college basketball, the Badgers beating Arkansas State 105-76 at the Kohl Center. Badgers head coach Greg Gard.
I think defensively we got better at the start of the second half. It's not helpful when you got your more experienced guys on the bench in foul trouble, but I thought our guys off the bench gave us a great boost. We've thought that depth would help us, and here we are in game one, and it already showed.
That's Badgers head coach Greg Gard. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
Here's your Mad Radio forecast. Cloudy today with highs around 50. Northeast winds 8 to 15 miles an hour. Overcast tonight. Scattered rain showers likely, 43. Chance for scattered rain showers again tomorrow, 50. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 42 degrees.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
John and Gordy, Mad Radio, WMDX 92.7. The number, you can text us or give us a call, 608-879-8255, 879-TALK.
Happy Tuesday to everyone out there.
Raise a cup of coffee and take a sip.
Okay, enough with the coffee bit. Yeah, we've got some extra new coffee coming into us here shortly too.
Yeah. So
Jorge brought some in.
Great. That is going to be great.
I can't wait.
Burr ground. All right, we're going to get to something that it still upsets me to this day.
What?
Kyle Rittenhouse. I can't wrap my head around the jury letting this guy loose. I just it's the most egregious example of where this country has gone off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
And I came across a story that it just, says it all.
You know what I wonder is what's he doing now? Rittenhouse.
He is deep into the far right mega donors. He is knee deep in them. Kyle Rittenhouse has started a political advocacy.
How so? There, never mind. It's all good. Just keep going.
Okay. I saw you do something.
I was trying to adjust the camera over here. Just touch it, and it went completely blank.
It's just funny to me.
It's very touchy.
It is.
Touchy-feely.
All right. Kyle Rittenhouse has started a political advocacy group called the Rittenhouse Foundation.
That's what...
They're just you feel warm and fuzzy from that, don't you?
I do.
My God.
Okay.
And it's with the help of some Texas mega donors. They are backing him completely on
this. To do what? What's he going to do with all this? He's going to get money for what? A foundation for what?
Well,
what's the mission?
This is the mission. He's a 20-year-old, and he says he's filing with the Secretary of State that his foundation will protect human and civil rights secured by law. And he also is including an individual's inalienable rights to bear arms. So we need a Kyle Rittenhouse Foundation because there just isn't enough of that.
Well, it's in the Constitution, Second Amendment, right? We've got the right, the inalienable rights
exactly.
for that.
Now, as you remember, Rittenhouse murdered Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber during a protest. He was acquitted thanks to, and no one ever talks about this, but Wisconsin's stand your ground law, where someone only has to claim they felt threatened before retaliating. In the old days, you kind of just, made a fist, and threatened to punch the other guy.
Right.
But now, if you feel threatened, you can just shoot them dead. Okay.
Like the Wild West.
So let's get into this cut here. This is a firearm specialist, and he has written books. He knows the marketing based on gun ownership. And if you just listen to this, there's a correlation between promoting AR-15s and Kyle Rittenhouse.
This is Spike's tactical ad. It was a 2018 huge ad at the industry trade show. Guys in jeans, T-shirts, backwards ball cap, AR-15, staring down the protesters. Here you have Kyle Rittenhouse. Jeans, backwards ball cap, T-shirt, AR-15, shooting the protesters.
This is 2 years apart?
2 years apart. The marketing works. I don't know how, if you can't draw a direct line between those two things, I can't help you.
So the marketing is very, very clear on that. Can we just play that again? So
this is Spike's tactical ad. It was a 2018 huge ad at the industry trade show. Guys in jeans, T-shirts, backwards ball cap, AR-15, staring down the protesters. Here you have Kyle Rittenhouse. jeans, backwards ball cap, T-shirt, AR-15, shooting the protesters.
This is 2 years apart?
2 years apart. The marketing works. I don't know how, if you can't draw a direct line between those two things, I can't help you.
So, pretty clear, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Now, let's look at how the Second Amendment was written.
Okay. Everybody get your constitutions out.
I'm going to make a 180 on this. We're very serious about the problems with firearms and AR-15s.
It all started with the founding fathers, though, right?
It really did.
They
had a difficult time trying to come up with how that Second Amendment would be worded. Okay. They were concerned about the future. Now this clip is from a TV show called Fridays. It was it was answer to Saturday Night Live.
It didn't last long.
Michael Richards.
Yeah.
And
Larry David. He was in that.
This features both those individuals as great comics. And it's what they imagined the founding fathers argued about.
All we got left is this right to bear arms thing. And I mean, we just can't seem to agree on this.
No, we can't.
I'm sorry. I'm just not so sure that private citizens should own guns, okay?
I'm going to take that. Wait a second. You tell me what's wrong with people protecting themselves. That's all.
Let's remember that what we're doing here is hopefully going to last a long time, right?
Right.
What if the country changes?
Well, we know it's going to change.
We hope it does. So what? Listen. What if it changes more than we know? I mean, what if maybe someday there's 200 million people living in this country?
Come on, man. We just want to get this.
Why don't you listen to what I'm saying?
Listen,
Are you kidding or something? I mean, people couldn't live under conditions like that. They'd go crazy. Exactly. And what if those crazy people had guns?
You're talking hypothetically.
Will you stop with the hypothetically?
You're not saying you're hypothetical.
Can we just put some kind of clause in there keeping track of the guns? Just some kind of safeguard, that's all. Look, Fazul, people need guns. I mean, they need them to go out and hunt for food. Yeah, they do now, but 100 years from now, who knows what's going to happen? Who cares? Say someday things get real complicated and real confused. Maybe there's a whole bunch of new inventions.
You're talking hypothetical.
Oh, again with the hypothetical. Maybe there's all kinds of new technology. Maybe there's social pressure. Maybe there's a whole different frame of mind in the way we think right now. Maybe this different frame of mind starts causing people to act in a crazy way and they start killing other people. And let me tell you something. If we give them guns, it's going to be a lot easier for them to kill. I don't really think we should make that kind of mistake. I mean, this whole right to bear arms thing can be amended.
You mean for now we say that they have the right to bear arms? I mean, if they're going to kill each other in the future for no apparent reason,
then they have the option to change it, that's all.
Yeah, come on, people aren't stupid.
I mean, really, we're not fortune tellers. All right, that seems fair.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Come on.
There it is.
That's for
what
Friday.
They imagined, what they imagined the founding fathers were discussing, coming up with the Second Amendment, and the guy making the argument, of course, is Larry David.
Yeah, how could they have possibly known about military style of assault weapons?
Right, becoming available.
Back then they were muzzle loading. Just took like a couple of minutes for each shot to get ready.
Yes, and it's just
different.
When you
different
think
world.
about it. Yeah, it's a different world. Yeah. Things have changed, and the weapons have changed. Now, the Supreme Court justices, I remember their argument on this thing was that when they came up with it, they were talking about arms. So the arms, no matter what kind of arm at the time, it's okay to have that arm. There's no specific arm. So, it's a single muzzle, you have to load it.
Yeah.
Well, that is now, an AR-15.
Yeah. What about a bazooka or a rocket launcher? Can you have those? How about a tank? Can you buy a tank?
I saw an interview where that question was posed to this guy, this MAGA, and he said, yeah, tank's fine.
Well,
that's no problem.
Where do you buy a tank?
Well, if you could buy a tank, right?
I'll bet you can.
Well,
what do you want to bet? I bet you can find a tank.
So, this kind of stuff, it's just, it has to be reviewed again by the Supreme Court, and they really have to, again, this was a con that the NRA came up with, and the justices bought into at the time, the conservative justices bought into at the time, and they were warned that this is just a marketing campaign, that's all it is, and you can't believe this because truly it's about, militias. It is not, it doesn't have anything to do with individuals having firearms.
What I always come back to is I think about how do the police departments think about this? Because they're on the front lines of this when anybody ever, decides they're going to shoot up a place or, take hostages or whatever. They're right on the front lines of this. What do they think about being outgunned by, people that do this kind of thing, that go off and start shooting up, their local big box store or wherever they go or into the schools? What do the police think about this?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why there are a lot of shootings now, police shootings and killings of innocent people who aren't armed, because they're just, they're just trying to be safe. They're trying to protect themselves and the people around, and they can't take any chances. They can't be wrong. So there, I have another clip there. Mike Johnson, Inalienable Rights. All right, let's hear this one.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Johnson from Louisiana's 4th Congressional District, the sportsman's paradise in Louisiana. So grateful to be an NRA member with you because as NRA members, we understand that the Second Amendment is grounded in our fundamental freedoms. We make the point on the Hill all the time when these gun bills come up and when Democrats are trying to push their agenda on the people. We remind them that the Second Amendment is grounded in those fundamental freedoms, those inalienable rights that we have to personal liberty and personal security and private property. We can't lose sight of that. So when they're pushing a bill for universal background checks or trying to delay the amount of time that it takes for law-abiding citizens to obtain a firearm for self-defense, we have to remind them that what's really at stake is that fundamental right that we have.
And this inalienable right that no one could say, by the way, it's born into us. And I remember hearing some I think it was Marjorie Taylor Greene saying something about how, we were born to have firearms, that it was a God-given right.
Well,
so
that's what
it's very, very odd reasoning and logic.
Yes. Hey, we got to take a brief time out here. Give us a call, 608-879-8255. Back in just a minute with more of the John and Gordy Show. Minutes past the hour. Hey, you can go behind the scenes of the John and Gordy Show on Facebook or on YouTube. You can see what's happening here. We've got the cameras in the studios, and you can get on Facebook and like us and follow us. You don't have to actually like us, but just push the button. You can like us, pretend to like us, and then you can follow us. Doesn't mean you're going to have to stalk us or follow us around all day. You can just follow us on Facebook or like us on Facebook.
Well,
do both, and then you're on Facebook with John and Gordy. Or you can go over to YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube. Doesn't mean you're going to get a magazine subscription, nothing like that. You can subscribe to YouTube. It's all free, and you're welcome. Okay?
Expect that John and Gordy magazine in the mail soon.
Yeah.
You know what I heard was that the like button wasn't working. So
What do you mean?
If you have a chance, if
What
you
do
have
you
a
mean
chance,
wasn't
just
working?
check that like button.
Keep pushing it?
Yeah,
just over and over again?
Just push it, just to see if it works.
We are getting a few comments on YouTube and Facebook this morning, so we thank you for that, and interact with us any way you would like. Okay?
Okay, you know, I have complained on and off about how much coverage Trump is getting, and he's kind
here
of
we
pushing.
go again.
He's pushing, Biden off the media because of the trial and everything else. His stupid comments, and I keep playing those stupid comments here on the show. and we
It's
do have,
hard to avoid.
and we do have another one, and this is how Trump won 50 states.
What? Wait a
right?
minute. He didn't win 50
No,
states.
He must have. He said
In his mind, he did.
He did.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
We won in the last time 50 states. Think of it. 50 states. We won every state.
Excuse me.
We then did great in the election. We got 12 million more votes or so. 12 million more votes than we got the first time.
More the first time, but 12 million more did not, make you win the second time.
50 states.
Think about it.
It's delusional.
Think about it.
People come and tell him all the time, no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. No, you didn't. Yeah, I did.
I truly think if you think about it, think about it.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Might occur to you that he's lying. If you think about it. So, hey, he noticed that the United States, if you abbreviate it, it turns into us.
Yeah.
Us.
He finally realized
he must be including liberals, Democrats, and progressives in that.
No.
That's what I'm thinking.
Nobody ever realized that before, right?
You spell us, right? You spell us, U.S. I just picked that up. Has anyone ever thought of that before? I just picked that up. A couple of days I'm reading and it said us. And I said, if you think about it, us equals U.S. Isn't it? Now, if we say something genius, they'll never say it.
No, but you know what?
It wasn't genius.
Maybe if we just go from making America great again, we can create something. What was his idea, Trump's idea, on creating the United?
What was it?
United States.
Our founding fathers are looking down at Biden with scorn right now. They're looking down on Biden and this administration with disbelief. We're going to make America great again. We're going to put America first. And we're going to have a great country. It's going to be called the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Oh, unbelievable. What an idea. Maybe somebody should jump on that,
Yeah.
Market it. Copyright that.
Oh, boy. And then now he was on the stand yesterday. You know what I like to see is all the artist renderings of him on the stand because they can't it's just, how do you picture this guy?
Yeah.
Every weird picture that you can imagine, the artists, they're not trying to
How
be.
do you make the hair look like it's not floating?
And you have to get that certain shade of orange.
Yeah.
You got to use the orange. They never need that, except now they do when he's on the stand.
Right.
Tomorrow, Ivanka is going to be on the stand. Yeah. What's she going to say? She's kind of the on the outside looking in on all of this stuff. She doesn't want anything to do with it. And yet she's going to have to testify.
Yeah, she's going to have to be there and probably, try to make things better after yesterday. No, nothing can help. But what an arrogant individual. Just unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, hey.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Are you okay? Would you like a lozenge?
I probably should have more coffee, So.
Well, we've got a new coffee maker that Jorge brought in. Yeah. And I think you fired it up, so I think the coffee may be ready. Yeah.
I'm just going to bring this up.
Okay.
apocalypticism.
What?
The
Excuse
word
me?
apocalypticism. The polling expert reveals the root of panic among conservative white Christians.
What's it called again?
Apocalypticism.
Is that an unalienable right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing how important words like that are hard to say. No matter how much coffee you have, it's still hard to say,
Right.
you know? So this year's American Values Survey conducted by the Public Religion Research Institute with the Brookings Institute shows that the American people are very conflicted and increasingly do not possess a shared set of beliefs or values across a wide range of political issues. Key findings include a growing disproportionate amount of support for political violence, right? A willingness to ignore the rule of law to win political power. We're seeing that in the state, of course, you know, with Robin Vos leading the charge. And a belief in untrue conspiracy theories amongst Republicans as compared to Democrats. Anti-democratic beliefs are even more acute, the survey found, among white evangelical Protestants who yearn for a return to traditional American values in a country they believe is moving in the wrong direction. You know, this traditional American value thing.
Right, yeah. Family values.
In what time was that? You know, in what part of our history was that American value?
I don't know. During
Decade?
the Reagan era
When
for
was
about
that?
20 minutes? I don't know.
God, they would keep wanting to go back to something that never existed.
We want to go back to the Leave It to Beaver
the
years.
traditional American values.
The Eisenhower years.
Yeah, probably something like that, but it was
Sure.
never really like that.
No, it wasn't.
So,
Yeah.
this survey is really important. The Brookings Institute is part of this, so it has some credibility.
Okay.
Because
It's
the
a
other
think tank.
Yeah, the other think tanks, you know.
They got to come up with big words. The apocalyptic. What is it?
Here, let me go back there.
Thanks.
It's not easy.
Okay, it's not.
Apocalypticism.
Okay.
I know, somehow I can get that up.
That's a lot.
Inalienable.
Hey, you
Oh,
said it. You got it.
You got it.
Oh,
so you
boy,
just have to
flag
relax.
that. We got to clip that.
Yeah.
So we can use it from time to
Just
time.
drop it in when we need the word.
Oh, boy. Okay.
But they can do that.
It
now,
is.
right?
Yeah. Well, but the thrust of that article is right on the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm glad we agree on something.
All right. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Can I just get to that?
Well, we only have a few seconds, but go ahead.
Do we have enough time here?
I don't think
No, we
so.
don't.
No, we
Okay.
got to take a break here, John.
Because I love what she says most of the time.
Yeah, it's 7:29. We're
Sing
back
along.
with more after a brief time out
On
for
Mad
news,
Radio.
weather, sports, and a whole lot more. We'll be back.
We'll be right back to the action right after this message.
Give it a chance, baby, give it a try. As we were saying, everybody's talking. It's the John and Gordy Show.
have some more to think about after taking a tour of the Brewers stadium. The bill that passed the assembly would spend more than $500 million in public money. But for now, there aren't enough votes to pass the Senate. Governor Evers says he would sign a bill if it were to pass in the legislature. I'm Nate Wiggyhout, Civic Media News.
Peggy from Solidarity Realty here. Are you starting the process of buying or selling a home? The last couple of years have left people with so many questions of where to start. Solidarity's team has decades of experience in the community. Let us guide you through one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an experienced investor looking for single-family, multi-unit, or commercial, Solidarity Realty is your local firm here to help you. Don't call to sign. Visit solidarityrealty.com.
This is your hometown radio, refreshed, keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network.
Here's your Mad Radio forecast. Cloudy today with highs around 50. Northeast winds 8 to 15 miles an hour. Overcast tonight. Scattered rain showers likely 43. Chance for scattered rain showers again tomorrow 50. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 37 degrees.
Want to party to and from the next Packers or Bucks home game? Want to rent a party bus or 360 photo booth for a wedding, birthday, or special event? Call Gabriel the promoter today at 414-944-1704. Rent Hercules, the full-size party bus with lights, sounds, and dance floor to transport the party to the party. The best 360 photo booth in Madison is also here with Gabriel the promoter. Check out all social medias at Gabriel Promotes or give him a call directly. That's Gabriel the promoter at 414-944-1704.
Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15s. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family.
John and Gordy, oh, John and Gordy, John and Gordy, oh, John and Gordy, John and Gordy, oh, John and Gordy, John and Gordy.
The whole crowd is chiming in now. Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7, John and Gordy Show, and 608-879-8255, 879-TALK. Give us a call, text us, join us on Facebook or on YouTube.
We got it all going on here. Hey, John, you may remember a couple of days ago we were talking about, the universities of Wisconsin, and the Republican legislature took money away from them. It was allocated. It was a bill passed. It was all set for the
maybe going to the Supreme Court now. Right. Governor Evers is saying they can't, withdraw parts of the agreement.
Well,
committees can't do that. They don't have that kind of power to say, well, we'll put money here, but we won't put it there because it was included in the bill to put it there.
Yesterday, there's an update to this story now. Yesterday, the universities of Wisconsin, remember, they've rebranded now, so we have to say the universities of Wisconsin, they unveiled a $32 million workforce development plan Monday in an attempt to recover funds that were cut by the Republican-controlled legislature earlier this year in a fight over campus diversity programs. The legislature's budget committee voted in June. You remember back in June, they wanted to eliminate 188 diversity, equity, and inclusion positions within the university system and slash the UW budget by $32 million.
Right.
So now the university's fighting back, and they're that's the amount the Republicans estimated would be spent on these so-called DEI programs over the next couple of years, but university's pushing back now.
It's an
So we'll see where this
overestimate, by
goes.
the way.
Yeah,
It's an overestimate.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I mean, when you take diversity and say it's actually divisive, which is what Robin Voss tried to do,
It seems
it's pretty apparent that you're kind of, lying. You can't.
How do you do that?
Diversity can't become divisive. Okay, it's not possible.
It's inclusive. I mean, by its own. Oh boy,
I know.
Just
Diversity,
your head starts
equity,
spinning it after
and
a while, right?
inclusion. Yeah, I know. It's like it's just the opposite. And he came up with his own, division. Da 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 da. It just your head explodes.
So it just goes on and on.
And the voters, conservative voters, they really don't get into the weeds like that.
Mm-hmm.
They just know that DEI is bad and, they should get rid of it, inclusion. Yeah, all the stuff that the free market is doing, they include it. They want that. They want diversity. They want their products, their services to be diversified so more people buy their product, their services. But we don't want the free market to decide that. We want our legislative Republicans to make sure that we don't have that in our public sector. Basically, we want the government free of any diversity, equity, and inclusion. And when you're trying to make that crazy argument, it sounds absolutely stupid. Will somebody please call it what it is? Dumb.
You just did. And what gets me is, the university, by its own nature, is very diversified, bringing students in from all over the world.
All over the world.
And professors and teachers' aides and all these people, very diverse. And here we're trying to, amplify that and say, yes, that's what we want to do. We want to be more diverse. Well, no, apparently not the Republican
They have an intern
legislature.
program.
Yeah.
And they have, people from all over the country coming in here and interning and following and trying to figure out what's going on in the system. And the university is helping out.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we don't have that inclusion, then we certainly will miss out on a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah.
And I there was a story the other day where the business community had put together a letter with names on it saying, please expand the university's ability to teach more people.
Right.
They're not, replacing old buildings. They're not expanding the engineering department. The whole thing is just a debacle because the Republicans do not want the university to be this money-making engine for some reason.
Well, the UW president, Jay Rothman, also announced yesterday he would direct some funds to the 4 high-demand fields, engineering, healthcare, business, and computer sciences. But that's plan allocates only $2.5 million each to UW-Madison and UW-Milwaukee, and about $1 million to each of the system's 11 other universities.
Right.
So they're trying to do what they can to support.
But the other systems are, losing out on this thing.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, it just round and round it goes.
Of course, they have enough money to fund, their little pet projects like school vouchers, which, by the way, in Wisconsin, 41% of voucher schools have closed since the program's inception in 1990. 41% of all these voucher schools have closed.
How's that?
Because what they do is they put them in these strip malls, these empty buildings.
Oh, yeah.
And then they don't have the books. They don't have the curriculum. They don't have the financial officer in order to manage the money that they do get. It's just a debacle. And by the way, these voucher schools, they do not have the same standards. They don't have to meet any certain requirements, which, by the way, is so important for public schools to meet.
Sure.
or else they won't get the money.
Yeah.
But boy, you send the money to these other voucher schools, they don't have to do anything. They don't really have a standard except that they have to manage the money well, and they have to have a curriculum or books or something like that.
So 41% of them have closed over what period?
Since 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And that includes the large number of pop-up schools opening just to cash in on the new voucher payout.
Sure.
For those pop-up schools, average survival time is just 4 years before the doors close for good.
Wow.
I mean, schools have
Not a great track record.
Schools have closed in Milwaukee overnight.
Yeah.
Like on a Friday night, parents in the entire school have to find another school to send their kids to on Monday.
That is mind-boggling.
And for some reason, this all of these problems with voucher schools and sending taxpayer money to something that isn't accountable, does not have the same standards as public schools. Why any of that doesn't make a lot of parents angry or a lot of voters angry, because you do want your tax dollars to go to the right thing and pay for the right stuff and make a difference, or else it's just a waste. And of course, the Republicans love spending money on waste. I mean, look at Michael Gabeman's investigation into the election, where he was trying to prove that Trump really did win Wisconsin.
Oh,
that
boy.
was such an incredible investment. What was that? $100 million?
Something
Who
like
knows?
that.
It was just ridiculous.
It was a lot of money, just right down the tubes.
Doesn't matter anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I know it's exhausting, isn't it?
It is.
Try to keep up.
Here's the other. This is that story that I had seen. 42 CEOs in Wisconsin urged GOP-controlled legislature to approve UW-Madison engineering building in full-page ad running in today's Journal Sentinel.
Really?
Yep.
Good for them.
That's the market.
Yeah.
Yes. These are businesses. That's the free market they often talk about, the jobs that they want to create. The job creators are saying, please expand the engineering department, the job creators.
Right.
Do you think the legislature will listen to these people?
No.
Heck no.
No.
Because it was the number one thing the UW wanted to do, expand the engineering department. Number one.
Yeah.
And so they took a little shot and said, yeah, there are the things that are just as important. No, this was the number one thing. Not just as. Well, look, I'm not getting on my soapbox, but
It's okay. You can do that.
I have a lot of caffeine in my system. So
do we need another coffee break, do you think?
I'm starting to hallucinate.
Yeah. Well, somebody else brought in some other coffee here, and we both tried it. Yeah. Coffee time again.
Can I finish my coffee first?
Anyone for a warm-up?
Sure.
These people drink enough coffee to buy Juan Valdez a summer home. No wonder there are so many jangled nerves.
Fresh coffee.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
It's got to be hot.
It's got to be hot. Yeah.
Although cold brew, that was before cold brew.
Well, sure, that was
And the only good cold brewed coffee, for me, is if it has nitrogen in it.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I've never had a cold brew that I liked at all.
It's like carbonation, only it's smaller bubbles, much finer, and it adds a little bite, a little bit of
Je ne sais
interest.
quoi.
Yeah, je ne sais quoi. Good word. There's another one.
What does that mean?
Are we covering every
Hang
word
on a
we
second.
can't say this morning? Okay. So anyway,
Je ne sais quoi.
nitrogen
Google.
added to beer and nitrogen added to coffee. It's unbelievable. It's magic. It makes it velvety smooth. That's what I was looking for. Not je
ne sais quoi means I don't know what. It means it's sort of an undefinable thing.
Oh.
An indefinable, elusive quality, especially a pleasing one.
Je ne?
Yeah. Je ne sais quoi.
C'est quoi?
Je ne sais quoi. Wait. Let me try something.
I told my son to
Hang
take
on.
French because, then we get to say and understand some of these big words. What?
How do you say the John and Gordy show in French? Let's see if it comes up.
In French, that's le spectacle John et Gordy.
Le
Wow.
spectacle. We are a spectacle, aren't we?
It's
Le spectacle. Wait, let's hear that.
Spectacle John and Gordy.
You know, it sounds like somebody on stage here that has just a little bit too much. You know?
Yeah, too much coffee. Le spectacle. Spectacle.
I love
Okay.
that. We've got all these artificial voices now.
I know it. It's amazing. You can listen live or you can stream on the Civic Media app, John. I don't know if you knew that. We're on the Civic Media app. You can also go back and relive these shows with the podcasts that are on, because I know a lot of people want to do that. Or you can just ask your smart speaker if you have Alexa or Siri or what, Google or whatever.
Yeah.
You just all you do is you say Civic Media, or you can say the John and Gordy Show, the John and Gordy Spectacle. Or once you get on the Civic Media app, you can use the call or the text buttons to connect to us. We're connected, we're distributed, we're out there. Okay, so interact with us.
Right.
We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call, 608-879-8255. Look, the sun is shining again. It's a beautiful day.
Where is it
in
shining,
Madison.
Gordy?
Pardon me?
Where is it shining?
Right in your eyes.
Exactly.
I see you're blinded by these. Should I close the blinds?
No,
this
I
happened
kinda-
yesterday
I kinda
morning.
like that.
We were getting used to the daylight savings
You
time
mentioned
not
it.
being around it.
You
What?
mentioned
What?
it, and all of a sudden, a cloud came up, it just covered the sun, and we were fine for the rest of the morning.
Yesterday?
That was really weird. Yeah, you did that
Well,
yesterday. I was going to bring that up.
TV weatherman, for 20 years, so I can see these things coming.
Do you have Alexa at home?
No, I don't I just asked the Google machine.
I just
asked
want to
my
let you
phone.
know, this is my last morning. They're replacing me with AI.
Really? I must have missed that memo because I didn't know that. Are they
So,
replacing me
yeah,
too?
I don't know.
We could be replaced any time by AI.
What voice would you like?
I don't know. Something very mechanical and yet sarcastic.
There you go. Do they have that? That would be kind of nice to have,
Well, we'll see if we can line. That would be good. Let's have a sidekick AI. That would be great.
Yeah.
We've been talking about we want different voices on the air. Let's do that. Get an AI voice in here that can react to what we're okay.
That would be good.
Think that's a good
It would be
idea?
a 2001 thing going, right?
By the way, just a headline here. Third GOP debate tomorrow in Miami. Yeah, they're warming up with all their lines. Of course, Trump won't be there. Why would he want to be there? Well, he's busy. He's in court.
Well, he'd be watching Yvonne.
Oh, maybe so. Okay. It's 7:49. We'll be back with more of the John and Gordy Show. Stay with us.
Good morning, here is the weather forecast for today until midnight.
Waking you up on a Tuesday morning with the John and Gordy Show.
Sounds a little too rockish. though.
Really?
Yeah.
Think so? Boy, look at that sunshine. Let's do a weather update here. What do you say? I think so. Yeah, all right.
Here is the weather forecast for today until midnight.
The John and Gordy singers there with their new weather jingle. It's going to be partly cloudy today, but you couldn't tell it right now. It's bright, beautiful sunshine streaming in here to the Solidarity Realty Studios on State Street. Beautiful sunshine. Temperatures in the low to mid 40s this morning. Will reach a high right around 51 or so this afternoon. You really can't see anything right now, okay? If you're watching on Facebook, you can see the sun. Yeah, I don't know if I
guess
can
I have
reach
to wear my hat, right? Put the brim in front of everything.
Put your baseball cap on.
There you
Put
go.
your Brewers cap on. I got my Cubs cap on, due to Craig Counsell. Joining the Chicago Cubs is their new manager. $40 million. Oh, that's a good look. That's a good look.
On the camera, it literally looks like you're like viewing a nuclear explosion or something.
Yes, right.
It does.
Well, it's possible because the Capitol Dome's right over there, so maybe something's happened. We're blinded by the light. Where's the Springsteen song?
It is.
Yeah, wow.
We should have the goggles and everything.
No
We're
kidding.
watching
Yeah.
a nuclear explosion.
So this is the way it's going to be every day around this time for a while, right? Wow, that is. Yeah, go over there and John's running over to the other side of the studio. Of course, it's hard to get there because we have all these equipment boxes and crates in there. Just turn the. I think you're on the wrong side, John. Over here, the other side of the window. Boy, have you never dealt with blinds before? There we go. There we go. That's a lot better. Whew. And you notice it heated up right away too. Yeah. Did you know that when there are we? I don't know if we have any storms in the forecast. Really haven't looked at the 7-day forecast.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Really?
Showers might be moving into the area, continuing into Thursday rather. So,
did you know? Here's a little weather trivia for you. Young animals are friskier and get excitable before a storm. The change in atmospheric conditions affects younger animals, and same thing with kids. Some school teachers report the same symptoms in children when a storm is approaching.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really? Is that
Thank
true?
you.
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, you know it now.
Wow.
A little weather trivia for you this morning.
You and your weather trivia.
Yeah, I got it all right here.
Man.
You want another one? Let's see.
Well,
here's one for the agricultural folks out there. By the way, when are we going to get Pam Yankee in here? Can we do that?
We'd like to do that.
We go way back with her because she could explain some of this. If a cow or a horse turns its tail eastward, it's protecting itself and possibly warning us that bad weather is expected to arrive soon. Did you know that?
No.
Okay. Well, we got to get Pam in here, and she can explain some of this.
We have to revamp our department, our weather department here.
We need to talk to our climatologist. Do you remember her name, Sam?
The one who works at Civic Media?
Yes.
I
Is
don't.
it Kristen Merlot? Did I
That
have
sounds
right?
right. I don't know.
Okay.
I remember the one who always used to call in on Pat's show.
Yeah, I don't know if she's on a different schedule now. But anyway, we need to talk about climate change, and maybe we can line up an interview with
It's a
with
myth.
Kristen.
It's made up.
Merlot. Oh, come on.
No one believes that malarkey.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just
All right.
the
You're playing
farmers, they're conservative, but they believe in it. And, they can believe anything they want. They have the freedom to do that.
I think everybody pretty much has given into the idea of climate change.
Our whole food supply is dependent on, figuring out climate change. But, no, it's not. It's nothing. It doesn't exist. Certainly a liberal creation to control our lives from birth to death. Obviously. Come on. It's always been a goal of the liberal contingent to control people's lives, make sure they can't buy the pigtail lights or the big gulp drinks, or maybe not ever buy an LED because it might save you energy. Why save energy with light bulbs? It's ridiculous.
Okay. I love it when you go into the sarcastic other mode of explaining how they're thinking.
Hey, I just
or
want
not thinking.
Big tilt of the hat. Where's my hat? Okay, my hat is over here now.
What, Craig Counsell?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Craig.
No, I don't care about him. He has abandoned us. He has abandoned us.
But the Cubs are loving it. So.
And the legislature is probably going to say, hey, forget funding the stadium. Who cares now, right?
Because
He's gone. He's gone.
I think that deal is done. I think the Brewers Stadium is going to be just
Tell you what,
fine.
there are Democrats that want to raise the ticket prices. I just hate that.
Yeah, no,
that's just
we don't want to do
ridiculous.
that.
We're pricing people out of concerts and other events.
When was
It's
the last time you
ridiculous.
went to a concert?
It's too expensive.
Yes.
I mean, there are great concerts on East Wash. They've had a lot of clubs over there.
Well, sure.
Just fantastic clubs. And I want to go see some of these groups, but, $50 and $100.
Oh, that's even cheap. Though you're talking the cheap seats.
No, these
now.
are, I know. I'm thinking
the
of like.
expensive seats are, way up there. It's crazy. Crazy time.
What is crazy?
I don't know what's happening. Boy, the traffic is backed up on State Street. Well, around the corner here. Yeah. Look
It
at
must be
go.
a protest. Must be a new bike protest.
Yeah, because that's what we need.
Okay, big tilt of the hat to Wisconsin woman who is aiming to be the youngest to travel the world by motorcycle. She has
Really?
returned home.
She's
done
back?
it. She's done it.
She went around the world on
Yes.
a motorcycle? Is
Yes.
that possible?
Yes.
How do you do
A
that?
Wisconsin-born adventurer becomes the youngest person to circumnavigate the globe via a motorcycle. And by the way, it's not a popular motorcycle.
Not a
because
Harley?
In this story, there is no mention of the make of the motorcycle.
Okay, so it's not a Harley.
It probably isn't if they don't mention it.
Yeah, and she's a Wisconsin woman, not on a Harley.
On
How do you go-
on her motorcycle. No, wait.
Can you
here
see?
it is.
Can you read the name brand on the picture?
RSO.
It must be a specialized bike of some kind, custom bike.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a weird one.
So
But anyway,
she went all the way around the world.
yeah,
How
she's
long did that
22
take her?
years old.
How long did that take her?
Let's see here. A celebration on November 4th in Ashland.
Okay.
Shortly after setting a world record for being the youngest person to circumvent. Okay, she
Took a
started
while.
her journey in August of 2022 and traveled through 45 countries.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah,
that's great. Oh, well, on that happy note.
She tried water. She could not do the water part.
She tried it, huh? Didn't work out so well. All right, that's going to put a cork in the bottle for the
It
John
is.
and Gordy show for today. Thanks for joining us.
Be back again on WMDX.
See you tomorrow. So long.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.